Okay. Hi. I don't even know how to start this. Okay, let's go, Kelsey. Okay. Hi, guys. Um, it's Kelsey. That's basically all you need to know. Um, this video is basically gonna be me giving a story time kind of and giving advice along the way. Maybe after it's gonna be really chaotic because I go off on a lot of tangents, but the main story should be the same. But it's basically just to help anyone who is going to go through this, who has gone through this, who hasn't gone through it but knows someone who has. And um, it's basically, for me, this is how I survived um, moving in the middle of my junior year in a pandemic. Um, and my story, mine might be a little different. There's a lot of different things that happened while I was in Kansas before. So I moved from Phoenix, Arizona to Wichita, Kansas in the middle of my junior year. And it was crazy. So I guess I'm just gonna go into it. So, I guess we start with the pandemic. So pandemic started in March 2020. Um, it was actually really good for me. Arizona wasn't as shut down as a lot of places. Um, so I hung out with my next door neighbor like almost every day and my cousins, which was all I needed. Like I was okay with that. I'm more introverted, so I like staying home. I'm a homebody, and so it was good for me. And at that point, I was really annoyed with myself because I was like, I need to know who I am. Like I'm one of those people who's like, I need to know. Like please, just figure yourself out, figure your life out, and like then I'm fine. So that was me at that point. I was super annoyed. I couldn't figure out who I was. I was going through so many phases. Like it was really hard on me. It took a big toll on me. And so uh, finally, I just sat myself down and I was like, you're going to figure it out. This is the perfect opportunity. Nothing is happening. Like, get your life in line. So it's really important to mention that this was me figuring myself out in Arizona because that's going to change a lot when I get to Kansas. Now, I was a religious person, and where I lived, there were a lot of people in my religion. So it was really easy for me to understand and live with my religion because I was surrounded by it. Um, so, fast forward, I figured myself out. Fast forward, I figured myself out, and it was really good for me. Like, um, I don't know, things were easier. Um, Life was easier. So then I get to fall break. So once fall break came, we have fall break in Arizona. It's 2.5 weeks. Then we started school back up in person um, after fall break. So I went to school and I was just sitting in my band class. I was in jazz band. I played trombone, and I was like, "Why don't you just move to Kansas? Like, there's nothing for you here like anymore. Like it's there's you need something new." And I was like, where is this coming from? Like, let's not. Like, I'm happy here. I have my friends, I have my cousins, I have like, and everything I need is here. And um so I was just super confused. And so I told my mom, and my mom was like, "Okay, well, do you actually want to?" And I was like, I don't know. So we went um and we just visited Kansas. The reason why it was Kansas is because my mom has always wanted to move here. Like, she's constantly been pushing for it, but I was the one who was like, no, I'm graduating with my friends in Arizona that I've grown up with. Like, that's what I'm doing. And she was like, okay, just after you graduate, I'm gonna move. So she already had a house here. She was in the process of just getting it like settled in. It was our second house. Like, it wasn't anything big. But I was like, okay, like I was content with being in Arizona. But we came and visited in December of 2020, and I shadowed a couple schools. There were two, well, no, I didn't. There were two schools we were looking at. One of them was my school now, and the other one was this other private school. And so I went and I shadowed my school, and I absolutely loved it. Like, it was so great, and it was completely different from my life in Arizona. Like, people were your friends. The community was just amazing. You had so many opportunities to do everything. Like, it was amazing. And if I can make you understand a little more, I came from a school of 4,000 in Arizona, and there was just 1,000 alone in my class. And like, if you wanted to be on a sports team, you had to be super good. People came from all over the valley just to be on the sports team at that school. Like, it was super competitive and super big. So my classroom sizes alone were 30, 35 people, sometimes even 40. Which is fine. I loved it. It was an amazing public school. It was good for me for 2.5, 3 years. And so then, when I went there, the school alone was 125 students, and my class has 25 to 30 students in it. It was really good. And like, the class sizes could range from 3 people to 15 people. There's so many opportunities, and I was just like, this is the place I was meant to be. So I talked to the head of school. The head of the upper school, and I talked to my mom, and I was like, this is where I want to be. Like, we don't even have to shadow the other school. Like, I'm going here. And she was like, oh, like, okay. So then it was decided, like, we're moving to Kansas. I'm going here for my second semester. So I had to take a test to get into the school. I had all these things to do before I could actually go to school in January. So I was in Arizona, and then New Year's came, and there was this party kind of thing that I was with my cousins and her friends and like all this stuff, and we stayed up till like 4 a.m., 5 a.m., and we had to leave on New Year's. On the New Year, like January 1st, 2021, is when I was going to move from Phoenix, Arizona, my home, to middle of nowhere, Wichita, Kansas. And so it was me and my dad and my 2 cousins and my dogs all packed up in this Tahoe. My mom had already flown there. She doesn't like driving, so she flew there, and the rest of us took the trailer and just drove out. And yeah, it was really cool. It was super fun. Me and my cousin spent so much time. It had snowed, and so we were playing in the snow, and it was fun for the first 5 days. And then school started. So I think we started school January 5th, if I remember right. And I remember the day before, I was stressing out. So the girl I had shadowed was Peyton, and she had given me her Snapchat. And so I was texting her, and I was like, sis, I'm so scared. People are going to hate me. Like, I'm stressed. I'm not going to have any friends. Like, this is so hard. Like, I am very introverted, so I was stressed out of my mind. I have a lot of social anxiety. Like, I was like, if I can't even go up to my friends and start conversations with them, how am I supposed to go up to random people and be like, hi, I'm the new kid? Like, how is that supposed to work? So Peyton was like, don't worry, like, we got this. Like, I'll give you someone to go with if you have a class with them. Like, you'll be fine. And so she gave me another girl's Snapchat named Erin, and Erin was in a couple of my classes. And yeah, so I show up on the first day, and I'm like, what's going on? Like, I'm so stressed. I feel so out of place. Like everyone has everyone and I'm just there, you know? And so I go to my classes. I'm like trying to figure out where I'm going. Like I was just, I was overwhelmed and it was super hard. Um, and then they told me they were like, the basketball team, like they were just like saying, oh yeah, the basketball team has something to say. I was like, why don't I just join? Little did I know it was going to be one of the hardest experiences of my life. Um, the girls' basketball team only had 7 people on it at the time, and 5 of them were seniors. And it was like, it was super hard. I was expecting just a fun, like, let's play ball kind of thing. And nope, it was super hard. And even when I said, I was like, can I join? Like, where do I go to sign up? Um, Peyton was like, you want to play basketball? Like, no one wants to play basketball. And I was like, I'll do it. So, because at that point I was desperate. I was like, I need anything to get me integrated to this new community, this new place. And so I joined every single club I could, even if it was like the weirdest club ever. And I joined every single sport that I could, which at that time was basketball. And I just went for it. I was like, you know what, Kelsey? Screw your social anxiety. You're gonna get through it. You'll be fine. Just do it. So um, I went around. I was doing everything, and then at home things weren't going great. My dad didn't make the initial move with us because he had all the stuff to take care of in Arizona because it was a very spur of the moment thing. And so he was back in Arizona, and my mom got COVID, which was not good for her, because she had a fibroid in her uterus that was basically causing her to bleed out all the time. And for those of you who don't know, COVID attacks your red blood cells and the oxygen. It causes a lack of oxygen. And so her hemoglobin levels, I was at school while all of this was happening. I had no idea, like, I was just living my life trying to get through whatever I was going through. And so all of a sudden, I got a call from my dad, and I was like, your mom is in the hospital. And I was like, huh? Like, what? Why? Like, this doesn't make sense. So for someone to be hospitalized, their hemoglobin levels usually need to be at like a 7. Like, that's really bad. Like, hospital level, like, you could die bad. My mom's were at a 5. So she was this close to death, if nothing, if no one had caught it. And I had no idea. I was just like, what? Like, what is going on? And my dad was in Arizona. So my mom was in the hospital in Kansas. My dad was in Arizona. And then there was me and our 3 dogs. And my rat. Yeah, I had a pet rat. He was super cool. But so I was like, what am I supposed to do? I have to balance extracurriculars with this new school, with trying to make new friends, with my mom in the hospital. And I was just like, why is this happening to me? And that's when my faith went downhill. Like, I had found myself in Arizona, I figured out who I was, and that lasted about a week in Kansas. And then everything just fell apart. And so I didn't know who I was again. It was just so chaotic. And so every day, I had the same schedule every day. Wake up, go to school, come home, nope, basketball practice till around 6, or a game, come home, take care of the dogs, take care of like the household, get everything ready for school the next day, homework, everything. Like, it was the most stressful thing ever. And that lasted for about 2 weeks. And my dad came back and helped. And then, let's see. And at that point, I was starting to make friends. My class was super nice. All the people were super nice to me. I had some people that would like look at me or like say something about me, and I would just start bawling because I was like, how did I make a bad impression already? It's been 2 weeks. Like, it was that kind of thing, and it was just super hard on me. But yeah, it was really rough. And so after basketball season, I didn't know what to do with myself because it was the only thing I had consistently had while I was here. Like, it was the only thing I consistently had. I don't know what I said before. It was weird. But yeah, it was. So I didn't know what to do with myself. I was like, what am I supposed to do in this 1 week that I have off where I'm not shoving something down my throat, like pushing myself to do something? What am I supposed to do? Because that means I have to sit with myself again and like deal with all this stuff that I don't want to deal with. And so then I started getting into not the greatest things, if I'm being honest. I would do dumb stuff that wasn't who I was, and like other people could do it. It would be fun for them, but it wasn't who I was. And I started getting in with different people that weren't who I necessarily wanted to get in with, if that makes sense. Like, who I wanted to get in with them at the time, but who I shouldn't have. Like, they're still really great people, and I love them, and I have like great feelings towards them. Like, they are great, but it wasn't good for me at the time. And they had no way of knowing, but it was my own fault. So there was that, and so everything just falling apart more. And by this time it's April, and I have some friends, but I don't know where I stand with them, and I feel constantly alone, and I just feel like I have no one, and if I do something wrong, then I won't have anyone again, and it was just this ongoing battle with myself. And then soccer season came, and I met some really great people, and things started looking up again. I hurt my shoulder, actually. That's where the initial injury came, and then I was doing all right, I guess. I was still being the same stupid Kelsey. I didn't know who I was again. But I was making friends. I was trying to be happy. I was trying to be like, okay, this is kind of a tangent, but when I was a freshman, I looked up to the seniors that were super like happy and super like inclusive of people and just wanted to be that person. And so when I moved, I was like, that's the person I want to be. And so I tried to be super happy all the time. It was exhausting, but I did it, and I just wanted to be that person. And so that's what I tried to be. And I have like some awesome freshmen and sophomores who are like my best friends, and a lot of juniors who are my best friends, and the seniors, obviously, they're my homies, they're my family. But so now, well, I guess I was a junior back then. Okay, if we're talking back then, the seniors were like kind of my friends. They kind of stuck to themselves a lot more. But the juniors were my family. The freshmen were so funny to me. I loved being around them, and same with the sophomores. They were just my best friends. And so then summer came. A lot of things happened during summer. My shoulder was still not working with me, but I did not care. I was like, I'm not doing this. So I had finally kind of gotten grounded here. I had my best friend. We hung out almost every day. Her name's Jillian. And I had a little group of juniors, sophomores, and I hung out with them. And then obviously I hung out with my seniors once in a while. But then, so this is summer 2021. A lot of things happened. I was hospitalized for a period of time, which I'll talk about later. It was rough. But then senior year came, and I was like, what can I do to make myself be more of that person again? More of the person I want to be. So I'd kind of lost religion at this point. I was lost with everything. It was just a mess of a jumbleness, if that's not a word, but I just came up with it, so now it is. And so I was I went to church for like the first time in a while, and I was like, this is the place I want to be. Now, some people, it's not like that. Religion for me is more personal, but I still like going to church. But religion for other people could be not. Like, spirituality is such a personal thing that I just leave it up to the person. Um, for me, it's an important part of who I am, and I love it because it makes me feel better. But for someone else, it could be completely different. I don't care, but I do care. Okay, I respect whatever the person's religion is, whatever the person's values, beliefs are, but I don't necessarily care if they're different than what I believe, if that makes sense. Like, I'm not going to judge you for your beliefs. But, anyways, so I had to navigate who I was religiously because there was no one here in my religion. In fact, it was so uncommon that I had heard like a bunch of jokes about it, and people would just, and I'm okay with the jokes, but after a while I was like, okay, I get it, haha, like so funny. But when in reality, I was like, can you just shut up? Like, just shut up for 1 second and let me live my life. And that's how I felt a lot of the time this year. It's like, why do people care so much? And that's when I was like, I'm just not gonna care anymore. I'm not gonna care. I'm gonna care about the things I believe, which are my core values, which is the church for me, my family, and my really close friends who I know would never, I don't know, never judge me for what I believed. And so I did whatever I wanted. I played football. I was a lineman on the football team. The first month of that was awful. The guys did not want me on the team. I was just like the annoyance who was there, but it was my dream, so I did it for me. And eventually, the guys came around, and we just had a bunch of fun. Um, I I was nominated for homecoming queen, which is crazy. Um, I I guess all of my hard work, even though I was so messed up in the beginning of the 2021 year, it paid off. It really did. Um, I met my boyfriend, who is amazing. Um, I have the closest bond with all of my friends. They're all super special to me because they all bring something different, and I love them. Yeah, and now I'm here. It's January 2022. I'm a senior. I'm about to graduate, and I love my life. I couldn't ask for anything better. Um, let's see. So, for people who are going to go through this, who have gone through this, or who know people who are going to or have, this is what I want to say. It's hard and it sucks. Like, really bad. And it's going to take a lot of time to figure out who you are and what you want and how to fit in and make those roots. It took me almost a whole year to actually feel like I was a part of this community. What I guess I'm gonna say is, don't let the people you surround yourself change who you are just because you want friends. Don't let judgment take you down. Be yourself, because people like someone who is their self and who's confident in that. Go up to people, get integrated into the school, the community, whatever it is, because it will be so worth it. It will be very hard in the moment, I had a couple times where I was just crying, breaking down because I did not want to go be someone in front of people. It's really hard, but again, so worth it. Taking these risks were so worth it for me. And your situation might be different, but I promise you, like, if you put in the work and you really want it and you really try, it will come. And for people who are trying to understand people, just be nice. Understand that they just came from a completely different world, probably. And they don't know anything about where you live. They don't know how to get around because they haven't lived there. They don't have people there. Maybe like invite them to go get ice cream or coffee or something, because that literally means the world to anyone who is new. Inviting them to do something, it's hard to explain how much that does for someone when they don't really feel like they have anyone. Yeah, so that's my story. That's how I got where I am today, and it's been really worth it. Very much so. Mucho. Um, and I hope this helps someone out there, even if it might be one of my friends. I don't know, because at this point, that's most of the people who watch these. But I really hope this helps someone, and um, if you liked it, give it a thumbs up, I guess. This is really weird for me. It's only my second video, so subscribe, like it, and do whatever. Comment what you want to see. I don't really know what's going on at this point, but yeah. I hope you enjoyed, and I love you so much.